What's up, YouTube? This is the Atheist Chef, and I want to talk about a little phrase that just gets on my nerves. You know what that phrase is? It's a phrase that when you hear it, your brain's gonna explode because you'll remember every time that you've heard it in the past, and you're just gonna. God's ways are beyond our ways. I know, right? Brain just you're fried and you're just like, oh my god, I'm so tired of this phrase. And you know what? I am too. And so I'm going to talk about why this is bullshit, to say the least. It is a poor argument, and it's just that nuke that drops when they're like, oh, I can't think anything else. God did it, and His ways are beyond our ways, and we can't understand it. Or our brains are too stupid, and we're feeble-minded, and just we can't. We're just too dumb for Him. So, ta-da! And they hand it to you on a silver plate, like, this is the best I have. Hope it works. So why does this argument fail for the Christians? Because they agree that God is supposed to be logical. For one, that He created logic. Two, that it is in His nature to be logical. Or three, that He is bound by logic. So there might be a few different people with a few different definitions about it, but they pretty much agree that God is logical and not illogical. So why does this screw up their little argument for God's ways are beyond our ways? Well, it's really simple. You can argue as a Christian that God has an infinite amount of more wisdom than we feeble-minded human beings do. And I can grant you that because I can't prove that wrong or anything, because I don't know what that's like. I don't know what an infinite amount of knowledge is. However, logic is logic. You can't have an infinite amount more of logic, and there's nothing beyond logic. It's not like God has logic 2.0 and humans have the regular old AOL version of logic because it takes us such a long time and it makes that weird sound every time we try to use logic. God is logical. Therefore, He can't do anything, that's, if He's doing something inside the realm of what is logical, then His ways are really not beyond our ways. It's something that our feeble human minds can conceive because it's logical. Now, you can say that, well, we're not there to experience what He is doing, so it may seem illogical to us at the time. So, for example, He allows a kid to die. However, in God's infinite wisdom and whatever, He knows that in the future, this little incident of this kid's dying is going to cause a person to, start up a charity, and then that does an infinite greater good, or not infinite, but just a lot, the greater good for this area or whatever. That's logical. We can understand that. It's not like, why is God healing this person or not healing this person? Because purple times acorn equals blue. It does not, that's something that's illogical. He is working in the logical manner. We can fathom that. We can understand that because we have logic as well. So if you want to use the argument that God's ways are beyond our ways, you are wrong. Because you can only act in a way, He only acts in a way that is logical. We know logic. We can handle it. We can fathom it. It is not beyond us to know what is logical and what is not, and when God is doing something that is logical and when it is not. So yes, you can argue that God is, His wisdom is way beyond ours. You can argue that we're not going to be able to experience the ultimate good that God is going to provide. That is a fine argument because it is not something that we can argue against unless we, keep track of every individual act that God supposedly does not do and sees the ultimate happening of whether it was good or evil, and somehow keep a tally of good or evil, especially being that it's considered subjective, and that's really, really going to be hard to keep track of. But to say that He is beyond our ways, that we just couldn't fathom the reason why He would do something, that is false. It is wrong. It doesn't even make sense. If you want to use the argument that God's ways are beyond our ways still, I invite you to look back into the past when you looked at things that God had done in your life or to others' lives, and you were able to fully understand why God did something, or why he chose to do this, or why he chose to do that, or why he didn't do this. You had no problem. Your brain was not feeble then. You could totally tap into the mind of God, and God was able to just, boom, relay that information to you. However, now you come across a situation where you can't explain it, and now your brain is unable to comprehend God's options and choices that he makes? No, sir. This is the Atheist Chef signing off. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Please make sure to comment in the sections below, subscribe, share to all your friends, make me sound awesome. Peace.